MySpace.
Say, hey y'all.
Are we here? Yeah, it says recording. Okay.
Okay.
We don't know what's happening. Welcome to MySpace, episode 73.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
100
We are
episodes coming.
mid-June, folks.
Yep, it is the middle of June. Becca, what is the temperature in San Antonio today?
You know what? I think today we're at like 95-ish, so we're staying pretty cool. It's not been bad.
Well, we may hit 80 today.
Okay. Listen,
72 right now, so.
as long as we're not in the hundreds, I'm good.
No doubt, no doubt. But you did get a lot of rain.
We got so much rain. Out by the airport, which is about like 30 minutes from us, like roads washed out, cars were floating down a river. It was crazy.
So strange.
We got not near that.
We have not really had, we had a little bit of rain last week, but nothing really to report. We are kidless this week.
You are.
Their camp. It was so weird and nostalgic to like drive. I grew up going to Kanakuk.
Okay.
And so it was like so nostalgic. I clearly haven't been back since. Driving in, I was like, wow, this is so weird. And like, I was a counselor one year in college and like seeing those kids and they're, like so amped and so much energy. And I'm like, I'm dying inside.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot, but we keep getting pictures. You can't talk to them. Get pictures, and they're smiling, laughing, playing
Which
in the.
was so normal when we were growing up going to camp. Like, no one thought twice about not being able to talk to your parents for a week. But now I'm like, I don't know if I could do
No,
it.
so it's funny when we went to camp, we had to write our parents like actual letters, and they mailed us letters, which you can still do.
Yeah.
Not do. But they have like an electronic thing now called bunk notes, and so you can email them, and they print the emails off and give them to the kids at breakfast the next day. But they, of course, can't email you back. So I've like sent them notes every day, like, "Well, here's what I'm doing. Hope you're having a great time." I'm sure they're like, "She's so
Right. We don't care.
Yeah, they look happy though.
Good.
I'm not like freaking out, but I do feel very off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock. I made it to about 3 o'clock, so almost 24 hours. And then I was like, well, I don't like this at all. I don't like the feeling. So,
Okay, time to pick them up.
we'll see. We don't get them till Friday. But it was Father's Day weekend. How was Doug's Father's Day?
It was good. Listen, for Father's Day, he's very simple. He does not, don't make him do anything, don't make him go anywhere, nothing. So his request was like, let me just hang out with the kids and play video games, and then let's make steak for dinner. So
Yeah, that was Aaron. He played video games for a while. We actually played each other in Madden. I won once. He won once. And then he napped for like what felt like 12 hours because I didn't have anyone to talk to. Yeah, and then we had some Culvers for dinner.
yeah.
Just
I know last night we went to bed and I was like, you don't want to go to like Dairy Queen and get some ice cream or something?
Yeah.
Like we didn't do anything. He was
I like melted. I told Becca last night, I like melted into the internet this weekend without children. Like I became one with TikTok. And I have a lot in my brain today that's pop culture, which makes perfect timing for you guys because this is a pop culture podcast.
Yeah. Every time I got on Instagram, it was like 6 new messages from Mandy. And I was like, we were just on here.
I know. It was bad. But there's been some stuff that happened in the legal world. So let's start there first. Catch us up. We are day 2 or day 1 fully of jury deliberations.
So we are on verdict watch. This is the official first full day. So, listen, I dreamed all night about a verdict.
God.
6 times.
Was she innocent or was she guilty or innocent in their
A couple of times she was completely innocent, and then a couple of times it came back that like she was innocent and then she was guilty on like a DUI. So, which is fine. That's one of her charges she can get because she did admit to driving and she had been drinking. However, it's whatever. Anyway, so the jury got the case on Friday. I want to say around like 2:30.
Okay.
And they were supposed to stay and deliberate until 5. I think at like 4:15 they sent a note to the judge that was like, hey, it's been a long day and week. Can we call it a day? So, which I think was kind of expected. So they had the case for about 2 hours. But by the time like you actually get into the room, everybody kind of decompresses for a second and like comes up with a game plan because they were asked to not go in and do an initial ballot vote. Because a lot of times I guess you just walk in and be like, okay, let's just see where
That's
everybody's.
what I would do. Hey, I'm done. Like, Here's my decision.
So they were asked to go through, look at all the evidence, and the defense specifically asked them to go through and look at the text messages that they had provided. So today they started at 8 a.m. our time of deliberating. We don't have a verdict yet. I keep watching my phone just in case.
Yeah. Y'all, I just, Becca's already gotten to break the biggest news of the year so far to me. I feel like when I get the next text and she breaks the Karen Reed news to me, it'll be like equal value at this point.
As soon as I get that text of like, hey, we have a verdict, I will be letting everybody know and pulling up.
We may have to have an emergency podcast session. I don't know. I'm just saying.
So all of the lawyers last year were told to stay within 5 minutes of the courthouse while the jury is deliberating, so that like if a verdict comes in, we can immediately, everybody gets into the courthouse, they're already there. But I think one of the lawyers, their office is 10 minutes from the courthouse, so they're giving them an extension this year to be able to be 10 minutes away.
Now we gotta wait a whole extra 5 minutes. This is really a racket.
I know. So,
jeez. Well, we have really not had any P. Diddy news, unless I missed it last week. Just kind of.
No, I did see today they've dismissed one juror, and apparently there's issues with another potentially.
Yeah, so I did see Diddy's lawyers are asking for a mistrial, claiming that the jury is racist. Now, I haven't seen the makeup of the jury, like ethnicity-wise. I knew it was predominantly male, but I mean, I guess grasp for any straw you can find is what you do. And then as far as Blake Lively is concerned, to be honest, Becca's definitely more legalese than I am. I'm very confused because, like, I think it's definitely a publicity stunt that she and her team are, like, basically calling last week's judge's decision, like, victory for them.
Yeah.
But then the more I read, it does sound like it is bad for Justin, but it's not, like, over.
So they've dismissed what he filed, but then they said you can come back and refile under these parameters, but there was like one specific thing that he had listed in his filing that they were like, yeah, you can't file for that because it doesn't align with anything that's been provided to us evidence-wise. So I guess it's a win because the case got dismissed, but they're going to get another case right back on them. So it'll just be...
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. I mean,
I don't understand how, and we've talked about this every week. I don't understand how they're not over this. Like, just settle, call a truce, end it, because nobody's winning here.
No, and that's where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm over it. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. All the things. But I did see, and what I think is probably, I mean, listen, so Scooter Braun, which if you're not familiar with, we hate Scooter. So Scooter, like a backstory quickly behind Scooter, he bought Big Machine Records, which is how he then bought Taylor Swift's masters. He owned that for a while. You know, we've stayed mad at Scooter, but technically Scooter sold her masters several years ago.
Right.
But we're so mad at him.
Yeah.
Because allegedly at that time she was not given the time to purchase them, but then it was... No, wait, I'm sorry. She was given the chance to purchase them just like anybody in the market was, but she was then never allowed to speak negatively about him if she bought them. So she was like, no, I'm out.
Yeah. So
they got sold to someone else. Actually, ironically, Jared and Josh Kushner's dad's business bought it. I'm just saying, I think that's weird. Anyway, backstory. So we hate Scooter. Scooter has managed people like Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Kanye. He was very in that world. And then last year, suddenly he stopped managing people. A lot of weird things going on. But now he helps run a company called Hybe, Hybe. And they're like in the management industry, entertainment, sports, kind of all over. And so apparently somehow... this is somehow connected to the Blake Lively situation. And so now Scooter is being subpoenaed by Blake Lively's legal team. And
which I wonder why. Like, what is the
context of that? I think because they're going to try to take this angle, which I think makes it even more precarious with the Taylor situation. But I think they're going to take the angle of Justin's trying to get like notoriety and play on the celebrity part of all this and like bringing up the Taylor stuff. And so like obviously he would be in bed with Scooter. And so it's all nefarious
Oh
plot.
my
To,
gosh.
that's what I think because why, like,
When I saw that they had subpoenaed him, I was like, how did he get pulled into this?
I mean, I can't wait to see who's next. They may call us.
They might. Listen.
Listen, if I'm under oath, I'm telling the truth, Blake. Don't call me right now.
No.
I'm mad at you, my friend. Like,
That's right. That's right.
you don't want me to tell you right now. But, so that's happened. We've got some Grammy news, which,
Listen, this is weird.
not the time of year. Here's what I'm frustrated with. You know, we have talked about how we're like big on tradition and like all of that. And so, you know, we changed the rules in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Now we're changing some rules about the Grammys. So first of all, we've added a new category for best album cover art. Okay, fine. I mean, we already have like best, I don't know, engineer.
I just feel like that.
Sharpener, like, okay, great.
Yeah, best album art. That's just literally
Listen.
it could change depending on who's picking that winner.
Here's what's going to be the problem. Do you remember the Brat cover album? How it was just like green and just underscore or lowercase the word Brat period?
Yes.
Some kind of crap like that's going to win.
It's gonna win.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm going to
so
be like,
bad.
see, now y'all have ruined that. You ruined the Met. You're running everything.
Everything.
So now we're going to do that. But also now we're going to split up the country category to traditional country album and,
This has Jay-Z written all over it.
yeah, you might as well go ahead and call this the Cowboy Carter rule. Like,
Yes.
this is because country music is livid that Beyonce and Cowboy Carter won the Best Country Album Award. Because to their argument, she's not a country artist, it's not a country album, and it's terrible.
Yeah. But even Beyonce would tell you she's not a country artist. Like I
Yeah,
just,
and so now we got to have two categories. So now we're going to have one that's for the faux country and the traditional country.
ridiculous.
What are we going to have next? I'm like,
I really think that we're inching into the era of like awards don't matter anymore. No one cares.
I think we're there. I mean, I think we personally are there. Now, we're still going to tune in and, I mean, maybe not tune in, but we're going to follow along.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like everything is diminishing before our eyes. The Met, the awards, the NFL. I'm not in a good place.
No, it's just when you start bending to try and make everybody happy, you're not gonna make everybody happy. So stick with your guidelines, stick with your traditions. Like, unless you're doing something egregious, why are we trying to like accommodate everything?
Yeah.
Not everybody can win an award. There's only so many Grammy Awards given out, and there's a bajillion artists. You're already not making everybody happy.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep adding in all of this extra. Because I'm going to tell you, like, it doesn't, whoever wins that country, it doesn't matter. That holds no weight.
No.
Nobody in the industry cares.
No. It'll be a joke. It's kind of like the kickoff now.
Yeah.
I was playing Erin and Madden yesterday, and we kicked off, and it's this stupid kickoff thing, you know, where the guy's just like standing back there, and then everybody gets to run.
It's
And I
just
was
so
telling
weird.
him, I was like, did you know they were talking about even just doing away with the kickoff? And he was like, they might as well because this is dumb. I'm like,
I mean, but it's just weird. Like, the kickoff is, it's tradition in a football game. Like, that's how we
so was the Met, Becca, and they stole that from us.
I know.
So,
Listen.
some big news in the TV world. Now, we have never gotten into Traders, the game
No.
game reality show. Many people have told us that we should in our messages. It's a lot to take on, especially because we're
It
kind
is.
of coming in at the back end. So, I'm not even entirely sure what happens. But Donna Kelsey is going to be on the show.
Is this the show where, like, you try and, like, lie to people and then you escape, and if you're the one that escapes, you win the money?
Yes.
Okay. I just, listen. It's weird concept. It's
Yeah.
a weird concept.
And there's like 45 people on it. I don't know if you looked at the roster, but I didn't even look at all the names, but I mean, it's massive. It's not really 45, but it's a lot of people. She did have her TTPD bracelet on in the announcement.
She
so
did.
It's cute as a button, as always.
I think she just going to take that thing off.
I just don't know the vibe of that. Like, I don't know the vibe of the show. First of all, also, and I don't know if this is accurate, I thought this was a British show.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't watched it. I feel
I
like maybe
said that we had a lot of pop culture to talk about, but it really sounds like we don't know anything.
Listen, there are just some things we can't keep up with everything in pop culture, but this feels like a lot. It also feels like a weird swing for Donna to be on this.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I'm gonna be honest.
No.
I think it's a reach, and I don't like it.
Like I love when she goes on a podcast. I love when she
Yeah.
shows up as an extra in a Hallmark movie or does something with charity. Like that's her realm and vibe. To go on an actual reality show feels I don't like it for
It
some
feels
reason.
icky to me. And I'm just wondering like how that conversation played out because she had to talk to the boys about it, and she had to talk to Taylor about it because clearly everyone's going to be trying to talk to her about that, and so she signed an NDA,
Well,
so
and the thing is, like, Donna is not the one that's going to give you any tea.
no,
If you've ever watched any interview she's done, she doesn't spill any information.
no,
Ed's who
it's going to
wants.
like come
Ed
up.
tells you everything.
Yeah. It's going to come up and it's going to be like the teaser on everything. And I can't blame them. I mean, we use Taylor as a lot for a teaser for this show because it's, honestly, the way that you guys find us. But still, like, I just feel like it was probably an awkward conversation. And I bet Taylor just tried to be like, well, that's just great.
Right.
I
It
don't
just
know.
it seems weird. The cast lineup is very strange to me.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know who's won it in the past. I don't know. A lot of people have asked us in the DMs to talk about traders, and we just don't have anything to offer. I mean, I guess we may check it out with Donna. I don't know. I can't promise you anything.
Listen, we'll watch an episode or two. We'll
Yeah,
at least
we'll
get our
watch the
opinion.
premiere and see how we feel. I'm gonna
It
need
looks
you to
like
look
it's
up when that
got-
happens, though, because I don't know.
So it looks like it's got celebrities, and then it's got people that have been on like Big Brother and Survivor. Then you've got some Real Housewives. So it's like a conglomeration of some really odd.
And it's basically like a real life version of Clue.
Yeah, Lisa Rinna's on it. Like Lisa Rinna and
Can you
Donna,
imagine the combo of Donna Kelsey and Lisa Rinna?
I just don't see anybody in this group that I'm like, Donna would, like, that might be who she hangs out with.
Yeah, because they form alliances.
Yeah.
Because some of the messages we've gotten before is like, who do you think's going to be an alliance? I was like, I'm sorry, I don't even know who's on the show. I ignore your questions. I do apologize.
Johnny
Well,
Weir's
there's-
on it, so that's something.
Who?
Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski?
Are we going to ice skate?
I don't know. Listen, Ron Funches, he's a comedian. I love him. I'd align with him.
What? When does this come out?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to read through. I don't know if they've listed a date.
Or have they even filmed it? Like, what's happening?
I don't think it's been filmed yet.
Okay, well, we don't know when, but we will tune in to the premiere. That's all we
Yeah.
can. That's all we can provide. That's all we can promise at this point.
Oh, it says it's now in production in Scotland. So they're recording it in Scotland.
That feels
Listen,
weird.
you do you. But
That feels real weird. But in Taylor news, last week there was a massive merch drop. Apparently, the summer line. It's very country club vibe. It is predominantly all 1989 merch, and then the Cowboy Like Me song.
it's giving, I just spent all my money to buy my master's and I just need money right now. That's kind of, because
It's
this
very
is the
Travis
first-
coded, and I think that they know that we all love that. But I was just like, oh, I mean, there was nothing that I was even like, eh.
This was the first merch. Now listen, I'm not a merch person. I don't buy it. I don't like to do that. However, this was the first time she's done a merch drop that I've actually come across videos on TikTok of people being like, this isn't it. This
Yeah,
is the mark.
the vibe is weird.
Yeah.
But as always, the Easter eggers are Easter egging, and she had a new font. Apparently, people really look into the fonts. This was not something I knew we were supposed to pay attention to, but this was like a. If you're familiar with Microsoft Word, it looks like Lucinda handwriting to me. It's very scripted.
does.
So, of course, everyone quickly, at the same time that she announced this drop, Sabrina Carpenter announced that she's putting out an album in August, which is super fast turnaround from the last
Yeah,
one.
it is.
That's fine. Do you, girl? When you're hot, you're hot.
That's right.
So, everybody has like drawn the comparison that the S in Swift and the S in Sabrina are the exact same. And so, of course, now there's all the rumors amok that there's a collaboration, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, sure, it's possible. I don't listen. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. Both of them put out their little letter saying what was coming. Both had coffee rings on them.
Could it be that maybe they have the same marketing team? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it could. I mean, remember when Taylor put out, was it TTPD that had the little paw print?
Yes,
I mean, nothing happened with that. I mean,
that's true.
other than we have confirmation that the cat is still alive.
Yeah.
At least two of the three. I think it's probably, we've never seen Olivia in like 20 years now, so I think she may have gone on. But, so that happened. There is some movie tea, allegedly. And this is not speculation. You know, she's confirmed herself that she has a deal with, what is it, Searchlight? Spotlight?
Yeah.
Searchlight, yeah. To write a screenplay. Allegedly, it has been submitted now. It has long been rumored that she was writing the story of Rebecca Harkness from Last Great American Dynasty, who used to own Watch Hill, the home she has in Rhode Island. That's always been the rumor as to what it was about. And, you know, I have always said I thought that would make a great Broadway show. So if it is, that's fantastic. I don't know why or how anyone thinks it got submitted. I've not seen any like calculations. I don't know why. Just all of a sudden everyone was like, it got submitted. So I don't know if it did.
I think, listen, the people that like make their living on TikTok and social media about like Taylor Swift, first off, kudos to you for being able to do that. But second off, like, I think that we're just going to go through a drought right now of really not getting a whole lot of Taylor stuff because she gave us so much the last few years.
Yeah.
That it's like, I got to come up with anything. And listen, find all the Easter eggs that you want, but I think even Taylor has said there's a lot of times that like people come up with Easter eggs that are not things that she even had any.
I'm sure there's times where she's like, wow, that was a wild ride to get to that thought. Like,
Right?
I would love to hear those conversations. I mean, hey, if it's submitted, I think that's great. I've seen the rumors that maybe she would play Rebecca Harkness. I don't get the vibe if she wrote it, she would play the main character.
No.
I don't know. I've seen the whole story is circulating again today on Twitter, and I don't know why suddenly today that they're turning 101 Dalmatians into a Broadway show with Emma Stone, and then she's going to play Cruella DeVille. I don't know, guys. That feels like a reach to me too.
Yeah. I could see that being a Broadway show. I could see Emma Stone going and doing that. I can't see Taylor jumping in and doing that as well.
No, but hey, am I going to New York if it happens? Yes. But this just feels weird. We did get some sightings last week, two very fun ones. First,
Really
just
good.
randomly popped up out of nowhere at the NHL playoffs, Travis and Taylor. It was so weird. And also, I have a beef about this. And I talked to Erin about this yesterday. They took a helicopter to the game. I do not need anyone in helicopters.
No.
Okay? Did we not learn anything from Kobe?
Why are we in a helicopter?
I don't know.
What plane?
I don't know. But they landed in it. They took off in it. I don't like it. I need that to stop immediately. Okay?
That's our anxiety.
I need you on this. We got to get out of the whirlybird. Can't be happening. But they went to the game. They were real cute, all over each other. I don't think either one of us were a fan of either outfit.
Listen, Travis's outfit looks like something I would wear around the house. Just some sweats.
I mean, he was all redded out, which...
Listen, I was like, well, when I first saw him, I thought he was walking out of the practice facility at the Chiefs. I didn't realize where they were. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, she just came to see him while they were, like, practicing because he's in all red. But then I was like, oh, no, he's out and about.
Yeah.
Get it,
He
Sam.
had on a little shorts outfit with a matching like top and some ankle boots. You were really not a fan of the shoes.
No. Shoes and heels are a no for me.
Yeah.
But those shoes in particular, I think it's just too 1990s with that chunky heel.
Yeah. She loved that vibe. Man,
Great.
she leans into that. She had the braided hair again, not my fave. But it looked like she took some pictures with some kids that were next to her. One happened to be wearing a Midnight's cardigan. How does that happen? I didn't know anyone bought those things, but so that worked out for that person. But
Can you
then
imagine sitting in the suite next to you and all of a sudden like Taylor and Travis just pop up and you're like, I'm sorry.
no, I would crap my pants for sure.
Yeah.
Also, would I feel stupid I was wearing my Midnight's cardigan, or would I be like, nailed it? I don't know. I really, honestly, I don't know. Because I do feel like if I'm wearing it, I'm gonna get noticed, and so then I feel like I've won.
Right.
But yeah,
Then
I
it's
just
not like you weren't a try hard because you didn't know she was going to be there.
no, like no, it
In
just
your life.
literally popped in out of the sky. But
That's crazy.
I did love, and I put this in our show notes. They were talking to Wayne Gretzky about it because he went up to the box with him for a little while,
Yeah.
and he said, "I don't know who Pink Pony is, but I know who Taylor Swift is."
It's all of us.
I mean, he is called the Great One, so I'm just saying. I love that. And then, as she does, Taylor popped up at a children's hospital in Florida and
Yes.
made her rounds. I love when she does that, and you can tell that, it, like, in the heaviest of situations, definitely brings a light that, again, we made the right person famous. But how much did we love that when that one kid was like, "Why are you in Florida?" She was like, "My boyfriend's training here."
Right?
She could have said anything.
She could have said anything.
Uh,
But listen, I do have a bone to pick with all of the patients and the parents that did not do
no.
one thing. Here's what I needed you to do. When Taylor Swift walked into your room, I needed one of you to be like, "Hey, have a seat. I've got questions.
oh, yeah.
Ask about some vault tracks here and
Yeah.
a documentary." No one asked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to figure somebody did, and it's just not been leaked yet. But I have been watching all the videos of all the parents and comments that they've all made. Of course, at what we hear every time, she was amazing. It was just, whatever. Yeah, I love it. And then Travis and Jason popped up in Cannes yesterday
Sure did.
for their Amazon thing. Same thing they did last year.
Yeah,
Let's just fly to Cannes for 30 minutes and fly back. I mean,
as one does.
because tomorrow, mandatory training camp, or is that what they call it?
Minicamp.
Mini camp. Tomorrow, here,
Yeah.
KC.
I'm so pumped. Like
I
it's
can't
just
wait.
inching to the start of the NFL season, and I'm so excited for
Yeah,
it.
I probably spend a little more time in Leawood just to see if I can come across anyone. Erin and I are going on a date tomorrow night we're going to Prime Social again.
Okay.
This is my dude, and was like, "Hey, can we get
Nice.
a table?" He got us a table, and so I told Aaron. He asked me what time we wanted to go, and he offered me a bunch of different times, and I was inclined to accept the 5:30 offer because
Right, because we're
hungry and we're
dinner.
adults.
Yeah.
And Aaron was like, "No, we need to go at 7:30," and I was like, "Are we gonna have a snack first?"
Listen,
And he was
And
like,
a
"This
nap.
is like a real date," and I was like, "Oh."
but see, here's the thing: when we're married and we have no kids at home, now we're just going to be sitting on the couch staring at each other until we go at 7:30. It's not like when.
So
we-
yeah, I was like, "Oh, apparently we want the 7:30."
But see, now if you're going so that you can actually potentially see any celebrities, or players, you would have to go.
Yeah,
to
definitely more inclined that could happen at the 7:30 hour, which I appreciate if that had been Aaron's thought. Maybe it was because I mean, the man eats all the time. I don't know why he did it late hour. But I was like, I'm going to have indigestion all night. It's going to be a whole thing. But I'll let you guys know who we see this time. If we see
Okay.
anyone, first
You
night.
always tend to have luck though with seeing famous people.
We do. We do seem to have some luck. We did see, and I just lost her name completely. Well, that's going to be a terrible note. When we dropped the boys off at camp, we saw a celebrity dropping her kids off, and now it's
Well, that's crazy.
just totally left me. I'll have to ask Erin, and I'll text it to you so you know.
Okay.
But with the start of mandatory minicamp, we do have some NFL news. Still a little bit light on the news, but there's some things happening. I gotta say, I am concerned about my first item on here. So J.K. Dobbins, who most recently played with the Chargers, signed with the Broncos. And you may say, Mandy, why are you concerned? Well, the Broncos are one of the Chiefs' rivals, same conference. I had J.K. Dobbins on my fantasy football team last year, and he really did well for me. And the Broncos and the Raiders both have beefed up far more than I feel comfortable with.
Listen, and the Broncos were already doing decent for them.
Incrementally
last
better,
year.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a team to watch this season for sure.
I worry, and with Sean Payton, I mean, we know he knows how to win as the coach. You know how I feel
Yeah.
about Bo Nix. A lot of bad feelings with him. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me nervous. I'm just saying, I think that our conference matchups where we used to be like, oh, that's a blow-off game, not the case anymore.
Yep.
That has happened. Listen, I like Myles Garrett. I think he's like a animal of a human, but he seems like
Yes.
a really nice guy. When he was asked about Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers, he said, and I quote, "Good opportunity to put him in the graveyard. I want it on a t-shirt,
That is,
sweatshirt, bumper sticker. I want it everywhere."
what a great snippet to get right before the football season. 'Cause
I
Miles
was like,
means it. Miles means it.
well, and
And
here's the thing: he's going to be the one that does pile drive him into the ground. I mean, that's
100%.
his job, and he's really good
Listen,
at
if
it.
you said that about, like, I don't know, a Jalen Hurts or a Patrick Mahomes or one of those big dogs, their O-line is going to take offense to that statement. You said it about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. They don't care.
No, they don't even know
Like,
him.
yeah,
They're
you
like,
probably are going to plow us.
yeah, they don't even know him. They're like, this dude just finally rolled up. We don't know.
Yeah.
In speaking of other teams that we have rivalries with, and I wrote down his name wrong, I can tell here in our notes. Is it Shamar Stewart?
I think it's Shamar.
Okay. So he was the first round pick for the Bengals. And now he has refused to sign his deal and has left training camp.
Good for him. Listen, the Bengals front office, deplorable.
Well, but good for him. I'm stunned by your response. I'm going to need to know why you said that.
Because here's the thing. That is every guy's dream that is
Yeah.
going through football and they want to sign to an NFL team. And then the first chance you get this shit team that wants to come in and try some new tactic on your contract to be like, here's all your money, but we're actually going to say it's guaranteed, but then there's things that we're going to make you do to actually get the guaranteed money.
Oh, I didn't know any of that happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. So I thought,
they
man,
want to include language that allows them to void guaranteed money if Stewart is released during his rookie deal. Well, he would have no control over that.
well, and a rookie
Well, of
deal is
course you're
4
gonna-
or 5 years. 5,
Exactly.
right?
It's 5 years. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. 4 years,
Yeah.
and then you can pick up the fifth
Yeah,
year
pick up
option.
your 5th year option. Yeah. I mean, Lord, anything under the sun could happen. He could break his leg. Or,
Well, and
you know.
even Shamar came out and he said, I'm not asking for anything that you would not already give to anybody else that's been done before. You're literally trying to use this new guy with a newer agent and use him as a guinea pig, and that's not right.
Yeah. So now I did not know this and the dynamics of this. So he was obviously drafted, so he cannot go back to college, but he can re-enter the draft next year and go through the draft again.
Which sucks because then you've had a year off.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm thinking first of all, your paycheck's going to take a big hit because you're probably not going to be a first rounder again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. The Bengals have started their conversations with Trey Hendrickson. Listen, if I'm this dude coming in though from college, and I'm seeing how they're treating like a generational talent like Trey Hendrickson, I'm like, let me go through the draft.
Even Shamar came out and said, what was his set? He said, in y'all's case, talking to the Bengals, y'all are more interested in winning arguments than you are winning games. And I was like, he's not wrong.
You ain't wrong. Yeah, like, I don't know. So when I first saw it, I'm glad you've enlightened me because I was coming at this like, what a punk.
Yeah,
Like, who
typically
think-
they are being punked.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't think he is.
Yeah, no, I'm on his side now, so I didn't know I would be. We mentioned Aaron Rodgers. He also made a confirmation this past week that we had kind of heard rumored, but he's married.
Listen, first off, congratulations, Aaron. We're super happy for you. I am very appreciative that he just admitted it and confirmed it
Yeah.
so that he doesn't drag the storyline out all year and be obnoxious
Right.
about it.
Right.
The fact that he got married and there has been no pictures or anything's come out, all we know is her name. He said she stays away from social media. So this tells me like she's one of those hippie friends.
Yeah.
And then like, did you get married in like a hut somewhere?
Underground.
And
for
everybody
sure.
was on ayahuasca? And that,
That's
like,
probably why she agreed to marry him because she was on
maybe.
it. I mean, it sounds like her name is Brittany.
Yes. Which I had watched the Pat McAfee show last year when he had mentioned he was dating her. Because they were talking about, like, what are your plans? And he was like, oh, Christmas shopping, and now I got a girlfriend to buy for. And so Pat was like, wait, you can't just roll past that.
Yeah.
But like, when he was like, yeah, her name is Brittany, but she really stays away from social media. So that's literally the only information anyone has ever gotten out of him about her. But I don't, listen, once the season starts, are we going to see her on the field? Because you know how some wives come down and like do a kiss or Pats on the
Oh,
back, good job. Like, are we going to get
oh.
any of that? Listen, if I'm Aaron Rodgers' wife, if I'm any NFL player's wife, I better be seen. You better know who I
Well,
am.
yeah, but if she doesn't want to be known, then no, I don't think we will.
That's crazy. Who doesn't want to be known? If you're married to an NFL player,
Well, and she didn't marry like an inconspicuous NFL player. She married like a vocally like
yeah. If you want to
polarizing
marry like
character.
Daniel Jones, nobody's asking who you are.
God, you sent me that thing today that it looks like he's going to be the QB1 in
For the
Indianapolis,
Colts,
which it was between him, Anthony Richardson, who's hurt, and who else?
I can't remember because I don't think they picked up anybody in the draft this year.
Do they still have Sam Ellinger from Texas? And I do apologize. My husband just brought me a milkshake from Chick-fil-A, so I'm going to go ahead and drink it.
Let's see. Riley Leonard. Oh, they did.
Oh, we like him.
We like him. Riley's got to be better than Daniel. Well, he'll at least be QB2, and we know Daniel's prone to injuries, so Riley's
Well,
probably.
he's definitely cuter for sure. I don't know. It's going to be a weird vibe. But,
I worry a little bit about the Colts this year. I mean, we got the new owner.
well, the owners, the daughters.
Yeah. But then
And one
that
of
one
them's going to be
daughter,
on the sidelines with a headset on.
listen,
That was a real weird move. I was like,
when she was like, well, I need to know if they know what they're talking about if I'm paying my coaches multiple millions of dollars. But do you understand? I can understand that she's been around the game for a long time and she knows probably a lot more than I do, especially when it comes to front office. But when it comes to coaching your players and the plays, you've never been an athlete on a professional football team. I don't know that she's ever been a coach. So that feels weird.
would you not know that they, like, by watching the game?
I think so.
I feel like I'd feel confident enough, at least.
And then what are you going to do in the middle of a game? Go in there and reprimand the coach and take their attention away from the game and the players?
I feel like, so there's three daughters. Jim Irsay, is that how you say it?
Irsay.
Yeah. He passed away. His three daughters now inherited the team. This has got to be the middle daughter. Got to be.
You would think. All of them are owners, but they all like are in charge of different things. But he's got one daughter that it's football operations is like her thing.
Listen, it's not a team I'd want to be drafted to, is what I can tell you.
No.
Let's see, what else we have? In great news in Kansas City, I'm not sure how this has happened nor why, but we thank the football gods that Rashee Rice will not be suspended for the 2025-26 NFL season.
That's right. Thank goodness.
I don't understand, but I'm all with it.
I don't either. But at least this, like, now for the whole season, he can be locked in and focused.
If we
I
can
think
not
if you
get
still
hurt.
have this, like, will I or won't I hanging over your head, you can't be completely focused on the game.
Man, I'm telling you guys, I know we're Chiefs fans, so we say this every year, but I feel like we got better this offseason.
I feel like everybody, it seems that there has been a mentality shift. Like, they all wanted to be winners last year, but something is different this year.
I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones, and I'm excited.
Well,
I'm
especially
excited.
when you have like Patrick Mahomes coming out and talking about how his mentality has changed and all of that. Like when they see the top down doing this, the rest of those guys are going to fall into place. And they always seem to have a locker room full of guys that take on the same mentality. We want to win. We don't want to be distracted. We want to give everything. So I'm excited to see what their year looks like.
Yeah. The governor of Missouri did sign a funding bill-ish situation to keep the Chiefs and the Royals in Missouri. But I don't know that that means that we are for sure staying in Missouri or just that he's making state funds available because there will be no local funds available since the citizens voted against the tax.
That makes more sense.
I think
Mr.
it's-
Clark Hunt, if you want to give us a call, just explain your thought process here.
What I would really, if I could have one interview question with Clark Hunt, here's what I would ask him. Why have we not redone the locker rooms?
Yeah. Can you imagine some of these guys coming in from the colleges that they come from, and then you walk into KC and you're like, oh.
All the Super Bowls, they have their like mansion built into the stadium, and the locker rooms are from the 1980s.
Yeah.
I don't understand, Clark. What are we doing?
Listen, is the whole stadium outdated? Like the whole thing needs a facelift?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty rough. I mean, especially like, we saw Taylor at SoFi, which is like, it's literally like being in the space age there. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even have people running the concessions. It was literally a robot. And then like you think about the Cowboys Stadium, the Raiders Stadium with all those suites on the, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, but there's like a nostalgia to it, so I would like them to like renovate it with that piece of the heritage there. But like, we need some new carpet. Like, we need,
Yeah.
just the basics.
Put in some work.
Yeah. Did you watch the U.S. Open this weekend?
So I watched the final round yesterday, like probably the last 2 hours of it.
Same. There was a rain delay because, man, speaking of rain, I didn't think they were going to make it happen.
Listen, Oakmont got the best of all of them this weekend. I don't guess I've ever paid attention to that course specifically. But
I haven't either, but apparently they all kind of have beef with it.
I mean, the amount of clubs thrown, curse words shared.
Rory was on one this weekend.
Rory was on. Listen, what's his face? Why am I
Wyndham
blanking?
Clark.
Wyndham Clark went on a tirade in the
He
locker
tore up the
room.
locker room.
Even Scotty Scheffler was out there cussing on the green. Like, when you've gotten under Scotty's skin, there's a problem. Here's the thing. I love watching a good competitive sport, and I love when you amp it up a little bit. Like, you can't make it easy for all these guys, but that seemed like an aggressive level of, like, this is just no longer possible to enjoy the game. Even if they go into the sides and stuff, that grass is so tall. I didn't get it.
When they showed a fairway shot, and the guy, like, I forget who it was, he tapped his club on the green.
I saw that.
It was just like mounds of water came out. I was like, this is impossible.
Yeah, because he kept trying to get a rule person over there, and they're like, no, you're good.
Yeah, because he wanted to say, like, this isn't playable, which, I mean, I don't know how it wasn't. But JJ Spawn won, and it was such a fun story. Did you see the interview where he was like, I've been up all night because my daughter was vomiting, and I was trying to find a pharmacy that was open, and I was like, Happy Father's Day.
Right? Listen, that was his first major he's won, too, I think.
And, so it was such a cool story. I love a good underdog kind of situation.
And especially to win on what was it, like a 64-foot putt?
Yeah.
On a course that everyone's been struggling with?
Yeah, like watching the whole thing, like all the different angles of it, it was...
Yeah, crazy. Good for him.
As someone who cannot putt to save their life, I was just like, wow, that was insane.
Yeah.
All right, any other sports news in your world?
Not yet.
All right, well, would you like to answer some questions?
I would love to answer some questions.
Okay. The first one up is from Scarlett. I am at a total loss ever since Taylor's big letter announcement on the Masters purchase. Maybe just laugh just because she goes into this whole dialogue now. She said,
I love it.
While I'm thrilled for her, I'm sad for us about what seems to be happening with Rep TV. I know you guys don't speculate, but what are your thoughts, predictions of what's next? Will we get TS12 next? Debut. Will Rep TV ever happen? If you had to pick between an Air doc and a re-record doc, which would you choose? I know so many questions. My brain is just spiraling.
I get it. Listen, all of us.
Scarlett, this is our live, so we're good with this. Let's just start at the beginning, though.
I feel like Scarlett's been in our text messages.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've asked each other.
We kind of do this a lot, actually. So she first said, okay, like, I know you don't speculate. What are your thoughts on what's next? And then she goes into options. What are your thoughts today, Becca, on what is next?
Today, what I think will be next is maybe towards the end of the year, I think we will get some vault track releases. That's what I think.
From Rep?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no theories or ideas on what she's going to do with Debut because she has already recorded it. Why waste what you've done?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what I feel on that one, but I think the next thing that we're going to get is going to be her vault tracks, at least from Rep, if not both.
Okay. So today is Monday, June 16th. We'll see how I feel on Tuesday, June 17th. Currently today, I'm of the mindset that we are actually going to get TS12.
This year?
This year.
Okay.
I know. I was previously, before the merch drop, of the mindset we were going to get Debut on her birthday. Mm-hmm. I still think that's possible, but I think we're going to get TS12. first.
Okay, see, and my thought was that we're not getting a whole new album this year. Because, like, she's got plenty of stuff. She could spread it out for a little while. And, like, you just gave us
I
so much
know, but
last year.
there's been too much. Okay, where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay,
Okay.
and there has been, in my opinion, some of the outlets that have been right before, very
Okay.
consistently, are very, very certain that there will be a tour announced next year. You cannot announce a new tour without a new album.
That's true. You've toured everything.
So I just think it has to happen. I don't know.
I mean,
Let's see, what else did she ask though? Debut. I still do think she's going to release debut on her birthday. I don't know. I've just always thought that. I don't.
but now that she owns the masters, do you think she would release, like, debut Taylor's version? Or do you think she would release debut, like, the mature version? Like, I don't, what would you call it? To separate, because it would have to be separated out.
Yeah, actually, I've not thought about that at all. I have no idea.
I feel like you can't call it the mature version. That might
That seemed
think
weird.
of something else.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. Well, okay, so we all call it debut. It's actually not called debut. It's called
Right.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
So I don't. Maybe that plays into it. I don't know. But I do think we'll get that on her birthday. I have no I mean, listen, I've not
Yeah.
like adjusted the stars to see. I just think that. She asked, "Will Rep TV ever happen?" I today do not believe that the album itself will ever
No.
happen. I do think the vault tracks will come out in some format. I do think so. My current theory is that the vault tracks will come out in relationship to the re-record documentary.
Okay.
So she did ask, would you pick the Eras Tour doc or a re-record doc? So my theory is it's the same documentary.
I mean, the two timelines kind of coincide.
And it covers all the eras.
Yes.
And yeah, so that is my whole theory. Now,
But if you have to pick, I want an Eras documentary. I want to see the
yeah.
breakup with Joe. I want to see all it goes through, and then all the Travis that we got.
yeah, listen, I want to see, yeah, but I need it all. Like, I need us to venture into the Maddie Healy time period and figure out, like, were we manic? Like, what,
I mean, that would fall within that too.
so what happened and how did we end up here?
That had to have been like a desperate, I got out of a relationship, I want to feel wanted, let me just go to the person. I don't know why you'd want to be wanted by that, but
Yeah, me either. Did you see the interview with Dakota Johnson? I forget now who she was talking to. She may have been talking to the chicken person. Do you know who I'm talking about? The blonde hair girl that does the show. Something about chicken. It's not. I want to say chicken fry, but you're gonna think I mean Brianna.
that's what I was thinking.
No, I think she's British. She's got blonde hair.
I have no idea.
Man, we sound like we know what we're talking about. But I think that's who Dakota was talking to, and she said that she had a dream about Maddie Healy.
I did see that clip.
And she was like, he was like
Killing people.
killing people, and then when the police would be like hot on the trail, he would turn into asparagus. I don't know why, but it just made me laugh so hard because I was like, I kind of could see it actually, like in a movie or something. I could
Listen,
kind
not
of see
far-fetched.
it.
Not
And it was
far-fetched.
just funny based on the timing with having had dinner with Taylor and stuff. I was just like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we addressed all your questions, Scarlett. We're with you. Our brains are spiraling too, and I've gotten to the point where I spiral so much that I just can't think about it because I'm like, I don't
Right.
even know.
I'm just gonna wait until she does something and then I'll be excited.
I just need my little pop up moments.
That's right.
That's really all I'm living for. Okay, this is from Keldon. I need a breakdown of what this victory means for Blake Lively and the ever-continuing drama with Justin Baldoni. And Mandy, you aren't alone in your sadness. Thank you, Keldon. I appreciate you. It is a very hard time for some of us.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add to, like...
No, I just don't see it as a victory. I do see where Blake's team is desperate for some good PR, so of course they were going to come out with the
Yeah.
statement like, we won, look at this. And I'm like, yeah, for a minute. He's gonna file something else. Like, you guys are still in the midst of a lawsuit.
Yeah, it's a PR victory in my opinion at this point, and I think it was the timing was weird. We didn't talk about this, that there was all this. Did Brian Friedman lie? Did Taylor's team not give him anything? Like all of that.
Listen, if I'm a lawyer that's gonna like lie to spin a narrative in the public, I'm not gonna put Taylor Swift's name to it because she's gonna come out and tell me the truth. So
Yeah, Tree Payne is not going to sit by and let that happen. But then, of course, Blake did also file something about wanting to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, secure, not allow her text messages with Taylor to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that seemed like a desperate attempt to save what seems to be drowning relationship.
Yeah, trying to block that. I'm like, I don't know that in a lawsuit where you're claiming so many things.
Yeah.
You pick and
Pretty
choose.
much said the whole thing, the whole world has happened, and now you're like, oh, but not. Yeah.
Yeah. Because to me, when you're saying this is the one thing you can't ask for, that's the one thing
I'm going to need that stat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is from Tanner. I love when you both talk about other podcasts you listen to, and especially when it overlaps with my playlist. So here's a fun one, or a few actually. Okay. So it's three questions. If you could interview Kylie Kelsey, what is the one question you have to ask her?
Okay, which you and I were talking about Kylie Kelsey yesterday a little bit.
I didn't know how you were going to address this, but okay.
Listen, because here's the thing. We don't know any of these people in real life. So our opinions are based on what we're getting in the media at the time. So I could really love somebody and then the next day be like, you're a crap human being. Like, we ebb and flow sometimes.
Trust me. As a Blake Lively fan, I understand.
So for me, with Kylie Kelsey, my question for her, especially with like how we were introduced to her, back with the whole Kelsey documentary and when we were only getting...
I forgot about that.
Right? When we were just kind of getting clips of her. She just seemed so genuine and like one of us. And then to do that complete spin of where like now you're on a weekly podcast, you're all up in everything. My question to her is, why did you actually do the podcast? I know she has said like, if somebody's going to tell my story, I at least want it to be me, which is fine. But like you have guests on there all the time. You're not sitting there spilling the tea on Mother's Day and what was said at the table, how all that went down. Like, so you're not. Here's the thing, just be honest. Why'd you do it? Was it the money? Because listen, if they probably came to us with that money,
I'm in. I'll talk about whatever you want me to talk about.
I'm not going to judge you if you say, nope. Heck yeah, they offered me this deal. I'm taking it while the iron, like, go for it. I want to know.
That's a good one, yeah. I struggled with this one, which was weird because a few months ago I wouldn't have struggled with this one. I'm not honestly interested to hear any commentary about like how their lives have changed or what it's like being a Kelsey. I'm honestly just not interested in that anymore from her. I don't know, for whatever reason. So yeah, I think what I would ask is like something about like the future. Like what would you like the next 5 to 10 years look like? What would you like it to look like for your family and for you? Yeah, because like we didn't expect the podcast. That came. Jason's in this new kind of era of his life. They've got 4 kids now. I think that she's hinted a lot that they'll have another at least. And so, which I can't. Lord,
can you imagine having children?
But yeah, I think that's what I would just like. What do you really want? Like what's next kind of thing?
Yeah. That's a good one.
The next part of the question was if you could interview Erin Andrews, what is the one question you have to ask her, which I would thoroughly enjoy getting to interview her.
Yeah. I would want to know. It feels like she's done so much in her career. You've been around the biggest athletic celebrities there are in multiple sports. So I kind of have 2 questions that I would ask her. Number 1, what's your favorite all-time interview that you've ever done with an athlete and like why? But also because she's done so much in her career and it feels like you've been to the Super Bowls, you've been to all of these huge events. Like what's your career bucket? Like what do you have left that you're like, this is still what I want to get to? That would be interesting to know from somebody that looks like they've already done it all in their career.
Yeah.
Like what's your next, what's one thing that you would be like, this would be a goal?
Yeah, I would. Oh man, I would so love to sit down with her. And so, if we couldn't ask the questions of like spill the tea kind of questions,
Right.
like who's really a jerk or who's really nice
Yeah.
or what was dinner like at Taylor's, like if we couldn't ask those questions, yeah, I honestly have the same question for her and it's similar to what you're saying, like what's your bucket list? But same question I had for Kylie, like what do you want the next 5 years to look like? We know they want to have another baby they've had some problems with that lately. But like career wise, yeah, like I also kind of want to know like what lane suits her best right now. Is it the whole sports world? Is it her show
Right.
with Carissa? Like, is that evolving her like to
Yeah.
something away from sports? I don't know. I need to know what's next.
Yep.
And then the third question is if you could interview Jason/Travis, what is the one question you have to ask them, either both or separately?
For them, I just want to know, like, maybe more so for Travis, because I feel like he's done a much better job of this. How do you just stay Travis?
Yeah.
With all of this attention, like when you go home at the end of the day, like how do you go home? Because I feel like if I go home and then somebody asks me to like cook them dinner or to do something, like, don't you know who I am? Like, we could pay people to do this. Like, do you know what I mean? You go to my
We
head.
won't become the famous people that people are like, yeah, we made the right people famous.
Yeah. No. But it just, for me, it seems with Travis, like he still seems to be the same guy that he's always been. He's still just a football dude. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone in the world knows you. You're dating the most famous musical artist there is. You have all of these opportunities and investments that come your way. Like at the end of the day, what do you do to make you realize like I'm still just Travis? This could go away in an instant.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't know what I would ask Jason because I was kind of thinking my standard question for the other two has been, what do you want for the next 5 years? I feel like Jason's answer was trust me out because I feel like it's so just like all over the place with
I think
him.
he's one of those like whatever opportunity comes, I'm saying yes to it.
Yeah.
Like he's not thinking it through. He's just taking
I
whatever.
think what I would ask Jason about is the internal like monologue dialogue he had with himself, or maybe even the conversations he had with Kylie or Travis, like watching the Eagles go on to the Super Bowl in your first season out.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Did you ever, at any moment during that season, did you ever regret it? Did you ever think I made the wrong decision?
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I would like to ask him that. And for Travis, I mean, listen, if I can't have all the tea,
Right.
and we kind of know the trajectory of what he wants to do after the NFL, just based on kind of what he's already involved with. I think I would want to know, like, kind of what your question for Erin was, like, what's Travis Kelce's bucket list?
Yeah.
Because, like, you've attained all these things. You're dating, Taylor Swift, and you've met all these people. You guys are interviewing all these people on your show. You've done, like, everything. What is possibly left on your bucket list?
Right.
I would love to know.
I think that would be so interesting to ask most celebrities that. Like you've
Yeah.
done all of
Especially
this.
when you have like all that money and access to things. Like, hey, if I want tickets to something, I just call somebody. I have my people call them, and I get in.
Right. If
So
I
like,
want to
what do
invest
you?
in something, I can do that.
It's like, what do you get somebody that has everything? I don't.
Right.
I
What is
wouldn't
something
know.
that you actually have to work towards now?
Yeah. Okay, this one's from Jody, and we have done this before, but I know it's a favorite of yours, and so I thought, let's revisit it.
Yes.
I love the episodes when y'all talk about the Golden Girls. I know y'all have recasted the show before, but A, can we do it again? I know my opinions change like the wind, and B, can we get a plot?
I love this.
All right, who do you have?
Okay.
What do you
I
like?
didn't look back to see who we had cast before, but I'm sure that who I've put has changed.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
So the first one I cast was Estelle Getty's character, Sophia.
Yep.
And I went Rita Moreno for this. Listen, she's in her 90s.
Wait a minute.
And the only thing I can think of that she's been in is 80 for Brady.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I think she'd be perfect for that role.
Okay, got it.
Who'd you put for your Sophia?
Oh my god, you made me just lose her name. The mom from, man, I'm having a lot of trouble today. Googling because... Oh my God, it's not telling me her... Diane Keaton. Jesus Lord.
Okay. I like that.
Okay, I went Diane Keaton because she's got that snark factor.
She does.
She's not petite the way
Right.
Estelle Getty's was, but like she's got
She
that
has that sharp
snarky,
tongue.
yeah, and the
No,
kind
I
of
like
lip. So I went with that.
Okay, the next one was Betty White's character Rose, who's like naive but super kind. I went Leanne Morgan. I think she'd be hilarious as Rose, the comedian.
Oh, that's a funny one. Yeah, we have really different ones. That's funny though.
Sure.
I like that. I went Reese Witherspoon. I really leaned into her role on Legally Blonde.
Okay. Okay, I like that one. Then Rue McClanahan's character Blanche, who's the more flirtatious Southern one. I went Jennifer Coolidge for this. Can you imagine Jennifer Coolidge?
I really think that you picked her before too.
I might have.
Yeah.
She just fits that like genre.
Yeah. I went Elizabeth Banks.
Okay, I could see that too.
She's got that like little bit of a sex appeal, but
Yeah.
like there's something deeper.
Yes. No, I like that. And the last one was B. Arthur's character Dorothy, who's the more dry and sarcastic one. I went Allison Janney on this.
Me too.
Did you really?
Yeah. That's
Listen,
funny.
she fits it perfect. She fits it perfect.
Yeah. No, that's a fun one. Okay, what's your plot though?
So the plot for mine is that they all actually live in like a retirement home and not like a home by themselves, and that they're constantly trying to escape this retirement home to get out, and they're always up to shenanigans.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I was going with it.
So I had them all in rehab.
Yes.
I had them all in rehab, and it was like a situation where they got so comfortable there, and like they didn't want to go back to their real world, like their real
Okay.
lives. And so their shenanigans were like appearing to still have their issues when they were like
I love it.
totally
Completely
healed or
fine.
whatever. Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was like a celebrity kind of rehab place.
Listen, I love it.
Why don't people call us? We have great ideas.
Listen, sometimes we're way off, but sometimes we nail it.
Sometimes we do.
No, I think
All right, you ready to do some Y Factor?
I am ready to do some Y Factor.
Get my notes. All right, what are you not liking this week?
So what I'm not liking is I feel like during the summer, everything is taking a break when it comes to like TV shows.
Yeah.
All the shows that I watch, and listen, I can't just pick up a new TV show. I can't do it. I don't know what my problem is. But like all of my normal shows,
You just won't do it.
I won't. I did try and pick up Ted Lasso, and I got maybe halfway through the first episode, and I was like, I can't do it. I don't know what my problem is.
I really think that you're having some issues.
I think it is me, because as I'm watching it, I was like, I don't get why this is funny. And Doug was like, what are you talking about? This is the best show. And I was like, listen, I can't. So I just, during the summer, everything's off. Even like Masked Singer, like I need some of those shows that I just have to watch here and there. Even that's off. And so I don't love it. This week has just hit me really hard that I don't have football. I don't have any of my shows.
You've
It's not
nothing to
okay.
live for, basically.
Yeah. It's not okay.
So mine is actually two TikTok personalities that are now together. Adrian Nunez and Tiana.
Oh, listen, I worked really hard to get them off my algorithm.
God, I don't know what's up with mine. Also had some really weird things happening on my algorithm this weekend. But if you're not familiar, Tiana used to date Cody Ford from the Bengals. They were engaged. He cheated on her. They broke up. She really aired out the dirty laundry on TikTok. Simultaneously, Adrian Nunez and his girlfriend at the time were kind of TikTok personalities. They had a situation, break up. He's like a wannabe country singer.
Yeah.
And so now he's like on tour and she's with him everywhere. They like
It's a lot.
it's
a lot.
just too much, and it's made me really. At first, I was really team Tiana. I was like, Cody's an idiot.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of like, oh, he may have seen you were a bit of a clout chaser. Like,
Listen, I think he's probably a garbage human,
yeah,
but also like, I don't know. She's just, and again,
not-
I think this comes with when you start getting a following and you start putting all this pressure on you to like perform and put out videos and stuff. Like, people just change.
it's not authentic at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what are you liking?
So what I'm liking is I watched a documentary this weekend
Oh, okay.
because I at least
Won't
have
watch a TV show, but boy, she'll watch a
I
documentary.
will listen if I can get some tea on something.
Okay.
So I watched the Ocean Gate. It's called Titan, the Ocean Gate
Oh,
disaster on Netflix. It was really good. And again, I like a documentary when you actually get the players involved in the documentary. Like, I don't want all these outsiders that don't like the person. So this had like the actual investigators from the government that were investigating this after the implosion happened. It had all of the engineers that used to work for the company and had quit, and like the progression of then a new engineer came in and then he quit as well, and like all of the things that transpired. Like, this was not a company that had been doing dives for years and had been successful. And so then to see all of these like billionaires that just paid money and they're like, yeah, I'll go down on this dive that's been successful like maybe once of going down there and not having an issue. And like, you didn't do any research into this at all. That's wild to me.
is
Wild.
this where the clip has come out of the wife of the person in charge? I don't know, where
Yeah.
she can hear the implosion.
Yeah, that was in the clips, but it was not, I didn't notice it in the documentary. And
Okay.
she is, now listen, she's like in there once as like in the background. So I don't know if something went on and she was like, remove me from this documentary.
Okay.
I don't know. Because clearly the guy that owned it and ran the company, the CEO, he was the problem.
And that was her husband,
And that was her husband, and she helped run the company with him. So I'm sure she's in a
but
lot
she
of
didn't go
lawsuits.
down there with him.
She did not. Even some of his main engineers, when they would go down for like test dives and stuff, they would be like, I'm not getting in that.
Well, when it all happened, we were like, what did you think was going to happen?
Right? Listen, no. So it was a really well done documentary. I loved all the players that they pulled in, just having the multiple points of views and everything. One of the guys that went down that did pass away in the implosion, his daughter was in the interview, and just kind of how she spoke of it.
Yeah.
But no, it was really well done. It was a quick watch too. So
Huh. I'll have to check that out. I have a lot of time this week.
there you go.
Well, I binged a show this weekend, so where Becca can't get a show, I can binge a show. So I had heard a little bit about this, and we had kind of seen some of the filming of it. I watched The Better Sister with
Okay,
Ashley
I've
Elizabeth
been
Banks, who I just
interested.
mentioned. That's probably why she was in my mind, and Jessica Biel.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing about Jessica Biel. She was one of the ones this weekend that I was asking myself, do I like her? I can't tell if I... So, the only other thing that I can really recall seeing Jessica Biel in was Seventh Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, not who Jessica Biel is. And so I have nothing to go off of. I have to say, I thought she did a really good job in this.
Okay.
She played the role very well. So, the storyline is... She plays a woman named Chloe, who is a high-profile media executive, and she lives like this picturesque life with her husband and her little boy in New York City. She's like, fashion. She's everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Well, she has this estranged sister, Nikki, which is played by Elizabeth Banks, who, by the way, now that I've seen them play sisters, they definitely could be. Their cheekbones, exactly the same.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, turns out, this is kind of a bit of, I'll try not to spoil too much. Nikki comes back in the picture, and Chloe's husband ends up dead.
Oh.
But as you learn throughout this whole story, Chloe's husband is Nikki's ex-husband.
Oh.
And the little boy is Nikki's son. But he doesn't know that. And so all of this happens, and then they come together to try to figure out who killed Adam, the husband.
Okay.
It's really good, though. I have to say,
Real good.
I was very surprised by Jessica Biel. I just assumed, honestly, that she was going to be a terrible actress.
Yeah.
And I think I could see in a lot of roles where she probably is. But this was a really good role for her, and she was really, really good. Very convincing. I also thought I was going to have a hard time believing Jessica Biel as, like, all in the fashion vogue, because she always seems so natural.
She
And
does.
she's
Like,
very
down.
natural still. I mean, she doesn't like overdo the makeup. Her hair's the blunt little thing, you know. Her clothes are definitely better in the show than she wears in real life, but somehow she still fit it. Like, she wasn't like a Miranda Priestley kind of situation, but she still fit the vibe.
Okay.
It was actually really good. It was a quick watch. A lot of twists and turns. I loved it. It's really
Okay.
recommended. So yeah,
We're full of ideas for you guys.
you're welcome. I'm sure next week I'll have a lot of things that I will have watched this week because I have nothing else to do. So,
And we'll have some mini camp discussions too.
yeah, it's true. Hopefully everyone will have a safe mini camp. We don't need
right.
any drama.
That's right.
All right, anything else for the fans?
That's it.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, y'all.